Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Truth, lies, shenanigans. 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 It's the TLS show, coming to you live from the TLS show. It's the TLS show, coming to you live from the TLS show.
Hey, welcome to Truth Lies Shenanigans, a live streaming podcast where your favorite hosts bring us the most interesting topics of the week to discuss and ask the question, is this truth, lies, or shenanigans? And of course, we always try to have fun with some shenanigans of our own along the way with amazing guests, games, and spirited conversations. My name is Neo Nix, and for today's show, we're discussing that trucker that received a 110-year prison sentence for an accident. And in Quickfire, we're talking about Kim's new neighbor, Kanye, also a 16-year-old who was confused for an intruder and killed by her father. And Cardi B is defending her butt. And in Shenanigans, the game show, it's everyone's favorite 7-second challenge. And before I introduce you to our amazing hosts, we've got to ring in the new year right and wish you all a happy, joyous, and productive 2022, our first show of the new year. Now, as I introduce our hosts, tell us your resolutions or plans for the new year. All right, first up, the professor, journalist, editor, and sports intern mentor at ESPN out of Washington, D.C., Miss Lizzie Enders.
What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday season. Last time we saw you, it was right before Xmas, right before Christmas, right before Santa, ho, 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 the Grinch, all that good stuff. And over the weekend, we celebrated into 2022. So I hope you guys had a great transition. As far as my resolutions and things that I want to do and work on in 2022, first and foremost, I haven't traveled since pre-pandemic, so almost 2 years now. So I'm really looking forward to not only traveling off my block because I don't leave my street, um, but also, I haven't seen my friends who don't live in DC since March of 2019. I haven't seen my international friends. I haven't seen, my family in New York, Colorado, California, Portland. My goddaughter in Finland, she graduates high school in June. So I'm hoping that not only will, the world free up a little bit so I can travel, but also that I free my mind and that I'm more comfortable with the idea of traveling. And the last thing I think I want to work on in 2022 is writing more. I edit a lot, edit every all day, every day for both work and, sometimes for this show. But I haven't been writing a lot, and you guys have no idea how many stories I have in my head. I've been working
when you
on
say writing,
novels.
we're talking about books? We're talking about books, right?
Yes, fiction writing.
With love.
Nice.
So I've been working on books since what? 13, 14 is when I attempted to write my first novel. And then never finished.
Wow.
So hopefully, I can find some time to get that first one out. They say the first one is always the hardest. So hopefully I can find some time to get that first one out.
I can't wait to read it. So just out of curiosity, can you give us a brief synopsis of one of your books, like some thoughts you had? No.
She said no.
Horror, murder, thriller.
Let's just say it won't be a rom-com. No
Okay,
romantic
good.
comedy.
Okay.
It won't be anything
I'll
that's
read that.
cozy and comfy, because that's not how life is
Okay.
for most of us.
So
So
a horror
a
film.
lot of a little kind of autobiographical, but definitely fiction. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm calling them out. But also, I think a lot of stories about the Black experience.
I
The
like it.
Black experience.
Nice.
Okay.
I like it.
I love
All
that.
right. I like that. You got some good plans for
Thanks for the snippet.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and we've got our gamer, tech guru, bona fide rock star with a rock band Fallen Machine coming to you from Sudbury, Ontario, Mr. Rob B. Rob.
Happy New Year, Rob.
New
Oh,
Year.
Happy New Year. What's up, my friends? It's so good to see you. Nice little break, but it's
Yeah.
wonderful to see familiar faces. Had a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Got to see the little ones over the holidays. And I mean, that's the magic of the season, is to see those kids just light up at Christmas. But yeah, New Year's Eve was nice. We had a few pops and a little bit of wine by our beautiful fire pit enclosure. The weather was just right for it. I did manage to hook up with Dustin over the holidays and get
Oh,
into
Dustin
the
Moore.
studio.
Nice.
Yeah, so got in the studio and we rocked out for several hours, and it was so good to be making music with someone. So I guess if there's anything for 2022 would be to get in the studio more often. And Dustin has just learned so much
Ooh.
as producer since he's produced our songs. And what he's learned is going to be able to bring us up to that next level of polish.
So
So
did you
I'm really.
did you
We
record
didn't record
anything that you?
No,
Oh.
Neil's like, we gotta hear it.
No,
you
we
should have
started
just put
hammering.
like a phone camera in the corner of the room or something. So
Something.
I have been playing around with a fun new riff that he was excited about, and yeah, hopefully we can develop that into something. But it was just so
Yay.
wonderful to be in the studio again and just make noise with someone else. It was
all
awesome.
right. So you're saying we should expect in 2022 a new Fallen Machine album?
Album.
Expect a trilogy, an anthology of albums. Come
Oh,
on.
man.
Neil.
2022. All
You
right.
never know.
Let's hope. We're just hoping. All right. And we have our college student, actress, and model, and the host of our newest podcast, Beyond the Scars, streaming from Atlanta, Georgia, Miss Gianni Storm.
Happy New Year, Gianni.
Hey,
Happy
guys.
New Year, Gianni.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy Sunday Fun Day. First, I had to say, Lizzie, your necklace is gorgeous. I couldn't
I
stop
was
looking at
thinking,
it.
I was gonna say the
I was
same
like,
thing.
it's
I love
stunning.
that necklace.
It's so
Can
pretty.
I just give you a quick note about this necklace? So
Yes.
it's snowflakes, the earrings as well. Rumor has it it's supposed to snow in Washington D.C. Ha
whatever.
ha ha! This week.
Aw.
So I'm trying to
Flurries.
channel the snow gods so we could be like Rob B up there in Canada.
Dude, if you want some of the minus 20, 30 that we had this morning,
I
you're welcome
love it.
to it.
It's
I'd love to see some
62
snow.
degrees here
Yes,
right
yep,
now.
it's 62. Yep,
It's warm.
60
It's
degrees
so
this
warm.
week.
It's ridiculous.
Very
It's
warm.
ridiculous.
It was,
Christmas was like almost
Why?
70. Christmas Day. Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Yeesh.
ridiculous.
but this, I've actually started on my goals for New Year ahead of time. I wanted to grow food. I started growing food in this aero garden in my apartment. I wanted
What
to
kind of
start
food? What you
creating-
growing?
Yeah.
I'm growing like simple things like tomatoes, cilantro, chives, and some lavender. That's what I'm starting.
Yes.
Amazing.
Cilantro. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And then also just like a new like health routine for myself and Sasha. I actually made Sasha's dog food, dry dog food, and she loves it, by the way. But it's just like I really want to, just incorporate. I work really hard, so I just want to incorporate like being healthy because I don't want to just crash and then everything I work for be for nothing. And just expanding, of course, my little cleaning and laundry business here in Atlanta, and hopefully, some new acting in some new films, acting and doing some more acting.
I was
this
gonna
year.
ask you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, so how you had a project? Who was that? Valentine. What was her name? Lola Valentine. What was her name?
Hazel
Hazel.
Valentine.
Hazel Valentine.
Hazel Valentine.
So what's going on with Hazel
Yes.
Valentine?
So they had to delay the project for some reason, but I actually
I
received an
recall.
email recently that they're picking up another episode. I don't know how many episodes they're deciding before they release, but I've already done 2. So
Okay.
I will keep you guys updated. on when
All
that
right,
supposed to
we got
come.
to
I
see some.
want to see it too.
We got to see some Hazel Valentine.
Excellent.
All right, before I get
Gianni,
into, go ahead, go ahead, Lizzie.
no, I was just gonna say, Gianni, I drink healthy. I'm always drinking healthy
Yeah.
drinks. I drink, liquidized potatoes with my vodka. So I'm always drinking healthy. Vodka is healthy. It's good for the soul. It's
It
good for
starts
the
with what
soul.
you drink. It really does. And just me drinking more water too.
All right,
I drink a
before I
lot
get
of
into
water.
my plans for the new year, we've got a few comments online. It looks like George Fournier says, "Thanks for the chili delivery over the holidays, Rob. It was very tasty." Uh, Mel Blaine says, "I need warm weather for my business for the winter, I guess."
Aw.
Jose says, "I'm done with snow already." Um, and Jack and Rob says, "It's way too warm in DC. We have our windows cracked, especially the one in the kitchen."
AC
So,
is on currently, Sister Dear. My AC is on right now in
yeah, so
December.
Oh my God.
So my plans for the new year is to, really push Truth Lies Shenanigans, get that going.
Yeah.
We've had a great group of people working with us and the fans online sticking around with us. So we're really going to push that. But over the holidays, I got to see my brother for the first time in like years now. So
Whoa.
Wonderful.
yeah, hadn't seen him in years. Because partially because of COVID, but just you gotta get busy and you don't get to see each other. So my
Right.
thing is I'm gonna make an effort, similar to what Liz was saying, to see more of my family and friends, catch up with my dad and a few other people. So I'm gonna make that same. That's gonna be my plan for 2022. Now that
Priority.
I think that I think it's a little safer. We know how to be safe now. We know how to do the
Yeah.
right things, as long as we're doing those things. Because actually, this it's funny. So uh, for our Christmas dinner, what we decided to do, we said, okay, everybody has to get tested before they get together, before we get together, because we got to protect the kids
Mhm.
and the mom, right? My mother-in-law. So everybody had to get tested. Well, because there were so many people getting tested, it was a delay in receiving the results. So about 3 of the kids did not receive the results before we started. So we're like, okay, well, let's just stay safe. We'll keep our masks on and we'll do that, right? Of course, when we're eating, we have to take them off, but we'll just be safe. We'll be even more safer, because usually when we got together, we would just take the masks off and we'd be good all the time. Um,
Right.
so we found out one of the kids came up positive,
Oh
right?
no.
And so we were like, oh my God, we got to all go get tested, go get tested. So we went and all got tested and we all came up negative. So,
Okay.
it was, the great thing is we know what to do to keep ourselves safe. As long as we're doing those things, I think we're good. I think we're good. So
I
Setting
think
those
the problem
boundaries.
with that is that, like, we know what to do. It
others,
seems like everyone else
other
isn't
people,
doing what they need to do, and that makes me sad
Yeah.
because I've had over the past, I would say, week and a half, several friends, not just here in DC, but in different cities, who have tested positive, who are
a
quarantining,
lot of
had to
people are testing.
quarantine during the holidays, and that's hard. That's really hard. So again,
Yeah.
I just want everyone to be healthy this year. Healthy. Do what you need to
Yes.
do to be healthy this year.
And that reminds me. So I had an issue with my blood pressure this weekend, right? The last week, and so I went into patient first, urgent care. I was like, look, I got to check this out, see what's going on. Urgent care said, I'm sorry, we can't take any more patients because we are overwhelmed by the number of people. I was like,
Yep.
wow. And it was urgent cares
Really?
around the city were just shut down. Because I went to, I looked up a couple more, same thing. So, I mean, it's crazy out here. So
So what
I,
ended up happening? Did you get seen at all?
I ended up going to the emergency room because I just wanted to verify I was fine. But I just I wasn't sure. So I'm one of those people. I take an abundance of caution. I don't play around when it comes to certain things. If I don't feel right, I need to get it checked out. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
yeah.
I'm like,
Smart.
All right. Now, Gianni, you are launching a new podcast along with Olivia. You were doing Unscripted, but now you're going to be doing Beyond the Scars. Tell everyone what Beyond the Scars is about and when people can hear your first episode.
So we will be launching our first episode next Wednesday. That is January 10th.
12th.
Um,
That's a
12th,
12th.
I'm sorry. January 12th. And Beyond the Scars is a podcast where we're sharing real people, and these people are telling their real stories of perseverance and triumph, things that they've really been through, and they feel that they can speak on and share their stories with others that can benefit from them.
Now, I'll say
Um,
I've got a preview of a few of the episodes, and it's some really powerful stuff. I mean, you guys really did a great job on this. So I'm looking
Awesome.
forward to getting it out there for everyone. It's great work. I was impressed with
Thank
your work.
you.
Just want to let you know
We
that.
have a different stories, very all of them very interesting and heartwarming stories. But we can't wait for you guys to see it. January 12th, Beyond the Scars.
All right. All
Nice.
right. It's time for Quickfire. All right, our hosts have some topics to share, but we only have 3 minutes to discuss and 1 minute to hear comments from the audience, so type those comments fast. Now, any topics where our host won't shut up, we've got the dreaded mute button, and they can save their comments for the after show. All right.
Can't nobody mute me. I dare you. I dare you.
Why
All
was that
right.
Lizzie?
Well, Lizzie, you are up first.
So this is kind of a somber, quick fire topic. You know, it happened right before the new year, right after the holidays. A 16-year-old girl in Ohio was shot and killed accidentally. So as far as we know right now, but was shot and killed accidentally by her father, who thought that there was an intruder in the house. Apparently, it was around 4:30 in the morning. Heard some noises in the house. The alarms went off in the house, and he grabbed his gun. And when he saw, whom he thought was the intruder in his house, he shot first and sought to ask questions later. And unfortunately, the person that he shot was his daughter. So, my question to you all is, and believe it or not, unfortunately, this happens more than it's reported in the news. Do you think the father should be charged?
Let's start with Gianni.
I don't think the father should be charged. When I was reading it, I was like, this is like a typical case where the teen sneaks out, right? If that is the case, if that's what it was, where the teen sneaks out, but it turned wrong. I immediately thought, okay, gun issues. We're having too many guns in the house. And granted, for protection, people could still use that argument, but too many cases like this, like Liz said, it's not a lot of those cases are even in the news.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
Robbie?
It's it's a tragedy, and but unfortunately, this is a cultural issue that we've touched on, and it's so different to U.S. and Canada. Um, Shooting first and asking questions later is a great way to accidentally kill your kid. I mean, she was accidentally identified. That's that's what the accident was. She was accidentally identified or misidentified. The shooting was the intended action, and unfortunately had very tragic consequence for this family. People need to start facing consequences. It's not who he wanted or who he expected to gun down, but
Yeah.
it's what happened.
I personally think that he should be charged because I find it, if you have children in the house, you don't shoot first and ask questions later. You just don't because you don't know if your child got up, did something. I mean, if you have children in the house, I think at least involuntary manslaughter or some charge along
Yeah,
those lines.
But they said that during the police call, somebody was in the back saying, "What was she doing in the garage? Like, what are you doing in the garage?"
It doesn't
That's not a
even
typical
matter. It
doesn't
doesn't
And,
even
matter.
but see,
matter. Go ahead,
that's where
Lizzie.
I disagree because my alarm, if a child is in the house, more depending on what type of alarm system you got, but most alarms don't go off just because someone is moving around in the house. Something has to be triggered. A door has to be open, a window has to be open. Something is tripped that sets that alarm off. It was 4:30 in the morning. You're trying to protect your family. You're trying to protect your
All
family.
right, Lizzie, I'm going to give you about 15 more seconds. Go ahead.
I nearly stabbed my old roommate's friend to death because I keep telling y'all, I sleep with a butcher knife
Oh yeah, you
underneath
said
my pillow. And this young lady at like 2, 3 in the morning, drunk in my house, came into the wrong room. And as
All right.
soon as my door opened, I'm like this. And it thank goodness I was able to recognize because I had met
Rapid.
her earlier in the evening. If I had not met her earlier that evening, she would have got. Let
All
me
right.
tell you. My safety is
Let me get to these
first.
comments. Let me get to these comments. All right. So, Sherry Blaine Priest says this issue is very different in Canada. Very tragic. Whether he's this is Jacqueline Robinson. Whether he is charged or not, he is already imprisoned in his mind. He will never recover from this, and
Yes.
his marriage probably won't survive this.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I could. Who is it? Sherry Blaine Priest agreed. I was saying Robbie Rock. I couldn't imagine living like that. Guns everywhere. That's from
And
Jose.
I think we could talk about this more in the after show because
Definitely.
Yeah.
there's another case that I want to bring up for you all.
Yeah.
So tune into the after show, a
Yeah.
similar case from several years ago.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about this in the after show. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to quick fire. Oh, wait. I'm about to miss it.
Oh.
Gotta make sure I do it.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right. Is this truth, lies, or shenanigans? This is a little truth.
I mean, I don't know if this is, I
Sad.
don't know if we have a category for this. I think shenanigans. I think
I think it's
shenanigans.
shenanigans. Yeah.
True situation. I
I
mean,
think with every week we come up with a new category that we
I
have
know,
to
right?
add.
Yeah.
You know,
We might have to elongate our name.
A subcategory to the shenanigans.
All right. I'm up. All right, so I know you're tired of hearing about Kim and Kanye over the last year, but there's more craziness. So over the last year or so, we've seen Kanye say he wants out. Kim try hard to make it work. Kim filed for separation. Kanye start dating other people, then start asking for Kim back. Kim dating Pete Davidson, with more Kanye drama about that. And now Kanye decides to buy a house basically across the street from Kim, paying almost $500,000 over asking price, in part to win her
Wow.
back. But the reports are he did it to be more available to his kids. So my question is this going too far? And do you think they'll eventually get back together anyway? Robbie.
Boundaries, dude. Boundaries.
Yes.
Holy shit. I mean, if the long game is to get your ex back, buying the house across the street so that she has to deal with you in some way every day is not the way to win her back. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I'm sorry, Kanye. I'm sorry, but yeah, like this is just
I think
more of Kanye being Kanye.
are they gonna get back
Aw.
together? You think they'll get back together?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I hope not. You know, I don't know, but crazy
Oh,
it
God,
drives
no.
crazy. So
All right, Gianni, what do you think?
I mean, I feel like it's not weird if Kim doesn't think it's weird, right? Because Kanye is one, her
Good point.
ex-husband,
Okay,
two, her baby's father, her
that's
children.
fair.
Sorry, that's
he's still her husband. Divorce is not final
The
yet.
divorce is
He's
not
still her
final.
husband.
Yep,
Okay.
Divorce
still
is not
married.
final yet.
They're just separated. And so it's like it's not weird if she doesn't think it's weird. I think they strike me as the type of people that would like have like a compound or like acres of land and still have like exes live on the land. Like they're just like a very
That's good. I mean, yeah, especially looking like
You
the other
mean-
sisters, yeah.
like a stable?
like a stable of men. All right, Lizzie, what do you think?
This is a non-story. All of the outlets that have reported on this story are using clickbait. Across the street for them is not across the street for us.
For us, yeah, that's
Kim
true.
Kim Kardashian lives on a 5.5-acre compound. The house is 15,500 square feet. It's gated. There's a long drive to get to the house, tons of security. You can't see the house from the street. You can't see the house from Kanye's house.
different level.
So there is no, oh, he's going to be peeking in the windows. He's going to be guarding, or looking at what she's doing. You can't do that with where she lives.
But it's a little bit
It's not
beyond the same
possible.
neighborhood, though, right?
But still, it would be the same equivalent if he was living across town. He would still have to drive
Is it
up.
though?
It
Is it?
is.
Far.
He doesn't have automatic access to get onto her property. And
True.
for those of you who don't know, like Gianni said, Kim hasn't said anything about this. So
Yeah, she
as
just
far as we know, she was on board with this. But growing up, I had
All right.
friends whose
Sorry,
parents
Liz. All right, we gotta get to these comments. All right, so Kevin Thaxton's
who
called
live
it.
in the same building. They live downstairs in the same building.
Kevin
It's
Thaxton
not
says
out of the
suggest.
ordinary.
this is
Kevin Thaxton
normal.
suggests we
Boring.
say we come up with Trunigans. Trunigans. All right. Jacqueline Ram says the underlying question is who cares? Seriously. Jose,
Thank
it's been said he wants Kim back, like publicly saying he wants her back and will do anything. Kevin Thaxton, his children live across the street. And Fred Hargrove says, what if you get a drone?
For what?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Now that's the creepy part.
to see the house. Because, you know, if you've got Kanye level
but
money, you can buy
he
a
could get a
exit
drone.
drone and get amazing
But
footage.
he could get a drone at any time. You don't have to live across the street to get a drone.
Oh yeah, man.
Like, come on. Like, I mean, you guys
I'm
really
glad
aren't
you agree with me,
thinking logically. This happens more often than not. I have friends
I know it
whose
does,
parents live across the
especially
street, who live around the corner, who live
especially
in the
in
same
Hollywood.
apartment complex. Like, Kim was just at his show a month ago.
Yep, with a
In
wedding dress.
clothes.
With a wedding dress.
Like, come on.
Which was really odd, by the way. All right,
This
so
is all clickbait for y'all.
all right.
Lies, shenanigans.
All right, we all know what this one is. I mean,
That's shenanigans.
it's all
man.
bullshit. This is bullshit. That's stupid. Shenanigans. So Liz got all bullshit.
Anything to keep
Gianni, you
their name
got
in the
shenanigans
paper.
and bullshit.
These people will
Okay.
do anything for the headline.
They really will. That's a good point,
Oh
Liz.
hell yeah.
Listen to
Yeah,
Liz.
this is all about headlines. This is all about headlines for them. All right, Gianni, what's up with Cardi B?
Okay, our girl Cardi.
This might
I
be my
found
favorite
my-
topic of the day.
I found my soul after my ash shot. A quote by American rapper Cardi B. Cardi B had quite the day with Twitter users going back and forth on the topic of a Brazilian butt lift, aka a BBL. The rapper had replied to a tweet by a Twitter user who had posed the question, teeth before BBL, which refers to whether it's better to get veneers as a cosmetic investment before a Brazilian butt lift. Cardi B's reply that men will pay attention to a woman with a great body before they will with a great smile, adding that this is an investment for your teeth, and this has triggered the debate. So my question to the panel, what do you think? A nice body or a nice smile? Also, could cosmetic surgery be a game changer for success?
Let's start with Liz on this one.
Ask me if I care about input from a man about what my body should look like. Ask me that. I am not getting any surgery to impress some man. Are you killing me? Let me tell you something. I have never in my life had an ass. Never. Flat. Do I care? No. I mean, I've always been endowed up front, but in the back, no. And it's never caused me any trouble
This
with
is a
getting a
BBL.
fucking man. But
This
also,
is an
too,
example.
like, you know, there's a lot that goes into not having your teeth properly taken care of. It's actually a
That's
health
true.
hazard.
Mhm.
It's actually a health hazard.
That's true.
But you know, you're talking. You know, I have no love for Cardi B. I've said that before 1,000 times in this
I
show.
take care of my
This
teeth.
is a young lady who, you know, her entire body at this point is fake, and
Yep.
her teeth are fake.
Mhm.
All right. All right, Robbie, I'm
So-
going to jump in before you. I'm personally a plastic surgery hater. I prefer all natural, flaws and all. It's what makes us unique. Too often people try to look like someone else, trying so hard to look.
Mhm.
You just got to love yourself. You know, you're good enough. You're good enough. Especially with these implants. I mean, and the risks associated with it. I got some graphic pictures here, but I got to show them. Some people's butts have literally exploded from this thing. Literally exploded. Like, not even kidding. So, yeah. Mm. The health hazards.
Go back to that
Be
last
happy
one.
with
Go back-
yourself, people. Robbie, what do you think?
Go back to that last picture. Go back to
Oh.
that last
Ew.
picture. So obviously the one on the right, for our listening audience, the one on the right is a picture of a woman and what her butt looks like post surgery, and it's like a disaster surgery. Her butt is basically mutilated. But the one on the left, that looks like, we
That's
were
not
just
nice.
talking about the Kardashians, that looks like a Kardashian ass. Because at
Mhm.
least two Kardashians have
Mhm.
had BBLs and it looks like trash. It's lumpy, it's shaped real funny. It's awful. It's awful. It's
All right,
awful.
Rob B, we got to give you some time. Rob B and Gianni, we'll let you get in there. Go ahead.
All right. So, question: body or smile? All right. A nice body can be appreciated. Looks fade. Confidence and smile. That's where I'm going every time. Cardi B's body insecurities are her own, and she shouldn't be insinuating that, like Liz said, that women should be getting surgeries because of men, because of what they're attracted to. And I mean, this quote: "I found my soul after my ass shots."
What the hell?
I'm culture. I'm so
I mean, she
sorry
was
that
a
your mommy's
stripper.
Culture?
values are so fucked up. I'm so sorry, culture.
Talking to
I'm
culture.
so sorry.
Talking to the child.
Talking to her
I think
child.
she pronounces it culture. I think she pronounces it culture.
What do you think,
Whatever.
Gianni? What are your thoughts, Gianni?
So the question was a nice smile or a nice body. I think a nice smile will get you everywhere. But also in Cardi B's defense, men, and she said, look at the words, if niggas, okay, I didn't say the words, but I said the word. So
I'm sorry. I saw a
specific
comment
group,
online. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead. Continue.
so specific group of men that prefer, like she said, a girl who has a curvy body over somebody with a nice smile. They'll take anybody with a gap. They don't care what their face looks like at this point. So it's an investment for this archetype and this group of men she's going for. The ones that throw money at the strip club that she works at, the ones which is not this is not like downplaying what she does, but this is a real business for her and those women who are influencers and who do get money off of their bodies.
Yeah.
No offense, but that's what
But
it
there
is.
are a lot of these
All right.
young ladies in the public too who aren't working in the entertainment industry, who
We're gonna,
aren't
Right.
strippers,
we're gonna have to pick this
but
up
who
in the after show,
feel
guys.
less
Yeah.
than because they don't
Because of
have,
that.
All right. Let's pick this up in the after
they're
show.
not baby got back.
Comments online. Paulette Bertrand says, ouch. Jose says, be happy with yourself. Plastic surgery will not help to find yourself. So much risk. Kevin Thaxton says, TIFAs are important.
They are.
And what made me laugh was he also said, squats and donuts at the same time can have good results.
And I don't think, we're knocking plastic surgery.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
that's
Neo is. I'm not knocking anyone's desire to get plastic surgery. I just
Me
don't
either.
think that
I am.
should be a priority. My ass should not be a priority over my teeth, which again could cause health issues if I don't get them treated and fixed and taken care of.
I'm not knocking plastic surgery if you're trying to bring yourself back to where you were. But if you're getting plastic surgery to try to look like someone
Enhance.
else, I have a problem with that. All right. Let's see. No man is worth me changing my body or face. Mel Blaine says, I used to want to have be a plastic surgeon because of these women. Money. Dario Winter says, what about aging?
Mel Smart.
All right. Oh, and so Jacqueline Robson also says, when people spend money to get implants and other fake body parts, they've basically created a monster. The Kardashians are notoriously into this mess.
Yeah.
All right. Those are all the quickfire we have today. All right. Good job, guys.
Wait, Truth Lies Shenanigans, y'all.
Yep. So, is this truth, lies, or shenanigans? Oh God, it's all bullshit. There you go. Lizzie, you said it's all bullshit. What are you saying, Gianni?
I say it's truth because Cardi B made a point in my
Okay,
book.
fair enough. So, Robbie, you got
Listen, Cardi B's
That's more
BBL still
shenanigans for
didn't
me.
keep her man from
Shenanigans for me.
cheating. Cardi B's BBL did not keep her man from cheating. So
Good
then there's
point,
that.
Liz. Good point.
That's a good point. Can't argue with that. All right. Today's sponsor for Quickfire was Jess Super Tonics. Immune support, digestive health, energy, hydration, detoxification, and more. Amazing health benefits await you and your family. Shop Jess supertonics.com today. All right, let's get into our main discussion topic today.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
Rob B, you want to talk about the trucker who was sentenced to 110 years in prison for an accident. Tell us more.
All right, so a little bit of history. This was an incident that happened in 2019. Rogel Aguilera-Mederos was driving a transport truck
What's his name
at the
again?
time.
What is it?
Rogel
said it so fluid.
Aguilera-Mederos.
Okay.
And what happened was his truck plowed into a series of vehicles that had slowed on the roadway because of another wreck. And the resulting crash and fireball consumed the vehicles and melted parts of the highway and ended up taking the lives of 4 people. This got Rogel 110 years in prison. So this past week, Colorado Governor Jared Polis shortened the prison sentence of Aguilera-Mederos to 10 years, drastically reducing the original term of 110 years. And this came after there was an online petition that over 5 million people signed seeking clemency for him. So at this point, I'm very curious to get some reactions from my co-hosts, and I'm just curious if this is something that the U.S. justice system should be doing, just undergo a review of really long sentences to see if this was a fair sentence or if these are sentences that should be commuted.
All right, let's start with Lizzie.
I think the bigger question for me, Rob, here is this a case of unfair prosecution versus the actual sentence? Because the DA, the prosecution, the prosecutor had the discretion. He was charged with 23 counts
Yep,
in this case,
23 counts. Yep.
all of which had mandatory sentences, if you will. He didn't have to charge him that heavily. He knew what the consequences were that it could potentially be if he was convicted on all charges, that he would get 110 years and the judge wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
Mhm.
And it should be noted that on the prosecution side, he didn't start petitioning, kind of petitioning, if you will, that, okay, maybe the sentences should be lowered until there was an outcry by the public. He was all
Right.
for it.
Yeah.
And even once the governor of Colorado came out and, commuted it and said, okay, I'm going to X 100 years, he's going to get 10 years, he could possibly be out in 6. He has since come back, the prosecution has since come back and said, well, we're very disappointed. We were petitioning, if there was going to be a change, it should have been 20 to 30 years. So the prosecution knew what it was doing.
Yeah, they knew. And they still
And
wanted to go
so,
aggressive.
yeah, they want it. So I think there needs to, if we're going to look into how this plays out in terms of how convicted criminals are sentenced, we also need to, look into what these prosecutors are doing with overcharging people.
Mhm.
But my biggest issue with possibly getting rid of minimum sentencing, um, or is that we have cases like Brock Turner. Okay. Or we have cases like Ethan Couch. Ethan Couch was the kid the 16-year-old in Texas a few years ago whose defense claimed that he not guilty per affluenza, even though he was drunk at 16, crashed his car, killed 4 people, injured 9 others, including his friends. He got 10 years probation. He got no jail time.
Mm.
Or you could think about Brock Turner out in California. He was the Stanford University student who got caught by 2 bystanders walking down the street, caught raping a unconscious young lady in an alley.
Mhm.
The judge in that case, because there was no, minimum sentencing standards, the judge in that case gave him 6 months and he got out in 3. And so you have to also think about, a lot of these judges are, even though they're supposed to be,
Mhm.
Unbiased, they have a very political mind, political, ideologies of what's going on. And even in this case, it has since come out, the governor in this case had to acknowledge that this young man, a member of his family, works in the governor's office.
Oh, really?
So you tell me, oh yeah, the governor acknowledged it, had to acknowledge it
Yeah.
before it came out in the
Yeah,
media. So
in the
he
news.
acknowledged it, although he says that had no bearing on his decision whatsoever. But you have to think,
All right. So let me ask this question. So Gianni, as Lizzie was pointing out, this sentence was not decided by the judge. It was decided by the jury based on mandatory minimums and concurrent sentences for certain convictions. So again, the prosecution knowing this. So given that we've often discussed judges giving discriminatory sentences to people of color or people without color, um, Uh, do you think it's better to have judges deciding sentences or for the sentences to be inherent for certain convictions, thereby reducing discriminatory sentences? What do you think, Gianni?
That's a good question. By inherent, you mean that it's just based on the law. Like if you did this,
If
it
you're convicted,
automatically gets
if
this
you're
sentence.
convicted of rape, then your minimum sentence is 5 years. If you're convicted of killing someone, your minimum sentence is 15 years. Do
life.
you
I
believe
feel like
that's
that can. I feel like is there a different alternative than that because that can even have its issues without reviewing the case. I think it's personally to answer your question better than having a judge and their bias and their discriminatory like sentencing. I agree. I think that that's a better alternative, but I feel like that alternative could have some drawbacks. It could
or
have some things wrong with it as
Robbie? What do you think about the bias?
Um, it's interesting the way that you brought it up, and immediately what came to mind was you can accidentally kill someone. There can be a set of circumstances that will bring about someone a loss of life, and it may have been outside of your control, or there was no malicious intent. You can't accidentally rape someone, so I think that we have to be very careful when we're comparing these things. So I think that in
well. Right.
certain instances, sure, if there are mitigating circumstances where you could have avoided or the situation was unavoidable once things got going, sure. But I'm sorry, rape isn't one of those things. It's
But within the
that's a pretty
within the
cut and
eyes
dry
of the
one for me.
law, but within the eyes of the law, certain things qualify as rape where even though they're consensual, where it really isn't rape. You could have, an 18-year-old having sex with a 17-year-old, with a 16-year-old, and that's declared in certain states rape, statutory
Hmm.
rape, but rape
It's not
nonetheless.
rape.
That's
So it just depends on the wording and it depends on the law. If you go to the comments, I like so Jacqueline Robinson works in the legal field. She's a paralegal for a prominent divorce firm here in Washington, D.C. But she said judges should be able to have some discretion
Yep,
in sentencing
Hmm.
despite minimum mandatory sentences. And I think that would have
I
worked
agree.
well in this case because you could tell the judge did not
He did
want
not. He didn't agree with it.
to give that 110 years. The judge wanted no part of that, but his hands were tied. So I agree with her on that front in that there should be a way, some type of loophole, if you will, that would allow judges to step in and be like, okay, we're overcharging here.
She also
This
said this
is a
should
bit.
be done on a case by case basis. What happened here was
Mhm,
clearly overreach by the prosecutors. But George
mhm.
Fournier says, I've never been a fan of mandatory minimums. A judge should always have the ultimate discretion so as to avoid such situations. Fortunate for this young man that the governor stepped in. But we've seen in the past judges having discretion, what that's led to, particularly, I mean, it may be different in Canada. I don't know. Robbie, correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. But here in the United States, the discrimination issue is significant. The prejudice towards people of
yeah.
color has been out.
Or
It's
not
just
even
crazy.
just people of color,
Or
also poor
privilege.
people. Yeah, but yeah,
Privilege.
people of privilege. Yeah, people of privilege because you
Classism.
have a lot of
Yeah,
judges
we had that
over the
discussion
past
before. It's
10
about
years
privilege. Hmm.
Yeah.
a lot of judges here over the last 10 years who've gotten in trouble because they are in bed with a lot of prison. So if they hand down to some juveniles, they, guilty sentence, okay, where normally they would get some type of probation or something. No, because the judge is getting kickback from this particular prison. If he sentences a convicted person to that particular prison, he gets like $10,000. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to weigh. Our justice system is a mess, and this is proof positive on
Yeah,
both sides because
Mm.
initially I was pissed off at the prosecutor. I'm like, you did not have to
the
charge
prosecutor
him
is the one to look at. Yep.
all of those charges. You could have done half, and if he got If he was found innocent on half of those, then you have the other half to come back, no double jeopardy, come back with the other half and try to retry the case. But
I
I
mean,
don't
granted, he killed
know.
4 people, but there was another comment from Kevin Thaxton that says, "Why wasn't the company that owns the truck charged for their negligence? Because, from my
Yes.
understanding, from reading the
That-
article, it was the brakes that failed, right?
It was
So,
mechanical
Right.
failure.
right.
Yeah.
But
So
it
it
begs the
wasn't.
question. But it begs the question: one, did the company know that there was something wrong with the brakes? And
And
two,
he
like
was
what
speeding as well.
he was
But-
speeding. He was going over 80 miles per hour in a big tractor trailer.
Right. Which I don't know. It's not unusual. I've seen trucks going that fast on the. All I'm saying is I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I've seen it, and it's people. It's an accident. I see it as an accident. 110 years is crazy for someone making
Absolutely ridiculous.
making a mistake.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Because we've all been there where we've done something stupid and
Bet-
there are
bet up.
consequences for it. In most cases, we haven't seen the type of consequences he has, but at the same time, 110 years is just his entire life for making a mistake. Is too much. Should he have been? So, what do we think the years he should have got? He
I
reduced
was
it to
going to ask
10.
that too.
He
I was
reduced
going
it
to,
to 10 from 110. What do you think, Gianni? Well, how
10,
many?
10, 10, and he could get out in 6.
Oh,
10,
I didn't.
and he
Okay,
can get out
10
in
and get
6.
out in 6.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't know that. All right.
I feel as if he should serve. Well, I feel like it would be right for him to serve a few years, 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5.
I
Okay.
can't be a judge. I would let everybody free. I'm serious.
Yeah,
Because I feel like
I believe that actually.
See, I would
hustlers.
be the
I just
complete
feel like
opposite. I would be the life, life.
What do you think, Rob?
No, I think. Go ahead, Rob.
It it's sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there.
How many
Totally
years do you
brain
think he
farted.
should get?
I would say I'm not a judge. I'm not trained in these legal matters. 10 years seems
But you're the
reasonable to
judge
me.
today. If his life
20
depends on you, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess I would really need all of the evidence in front of me to properly weigh what happened. But I
Rob's
think
not
that 10,
budging.
10 years seems to be reasonable on the surface. I know that they were looking at maybe 20 to 30. But I think that 10 years, I would really need to know all the details of the case before I could really lay that down. But it doesn't seem like this was intentional. And I mean, when we look at a 110-year sentence, it's pretty disproportionate when you compare it against inmates who have committed intentional, premeditated
Mm-hmm.
vehicular
Murder.
homicide, even, right?
DUIs and
So
stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. I think
Yeah.
10 years is reasonable with the
And I
option
consider
to get out
DUIs
with good
intentional, by
behavior.
the way.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
And your
Me
your
too.
thoughts, Liz? How many years?
I would say 15. I would say
I was thinking
10
10 to
15.
15. Yeah.
10 to 15.
Why?
Because
He
people need to
he
understand
was
there's a huge
negligent.
there's a huge responsibility when you are
He was
driving a
speeding.
vehicle. And he was speeding. You can't be speeding down a highway over 80 miles an hour in a tractor trailer. Like you can't
And he
stop
failed to
as
do
easily
proper
as you could.
maintenance.
Exactly. So there has to be some accountability for that.
Mhm.
But to
Yeah.
Kevin Thaxton's question, whereas I don't think the
What's his
actual
question?
trucking companies
Oh, okay. Yes.
can be held liable for this criminally, the family should go after them in a civil court, like
Civilly.
civil suit. This
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
screams lawsuit. This screams lawsuit because again, 4
Yeah.
lives. It was what a 28 car pileup. 4 people died, not other people injured. Yeah, there has to be some
He has to
accountability
have some
here.
accountability.
There has
I'm
to
in
be.
agreement with Liz on the 10 to 15 years. I just think, and it's about justice as well. I mean, 4 people died. I mean, and you can't
Yeah.
just gloss that over and be like, he made a mistake and it's okay. No, 4 people died. And, if for my family members, I want some sense of justice along with, I'd understand, but there's got to be some punishment for making those mistakes.
I have a question for because I don't
Go
have a
ahead.
license. I presume that I assume all of you have licenses, right?
I do.
How do you
Mhm.
feel on the highway when you are um, driving next to a tractor trailer?
I'm
a
chill.
huge rig. if you will.
Nervous.
I'm fine.
Nervous.
I do
It's-
usually get past them quickly.
Yes, me
Mhm.
too. I'm not standing next to them. There,
I
it's
respect
kind
the
of nerve
laws
wracking.
of I respect the laws of physics tremendously. I recognize that this is just hundreds of tons of steel traveling in excess of 55 miles per hour. So I remember when I was visiting Joe, when I would commute to go see her, it was a 5, 6 hour drive. And I was talking to her on my hands free, and 2 lanes over, a cement truck tire blew out while it was driving on the highway. And just the concussive effect from that, like it rocked my car from 2 lanes over. And I was like, what the hell was that? So these big trucks, I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Being a northerner, if I'm behind them on a highway during a snowstorm, I'm so happy because I know that they're moving the snow and they're going to keep moving.
All right, so we do have a few comments. So mandatory minimums. This is Michael Winter. Mandatory minimums have been used in discriminatory manner in this country. Prosecutors also need to stop always seeking maximum penalties. Sometimes they're just being assholes. Adaria Winter says mandatory minimums took it out of the hands of the judges originally. Look at the history. The people called for the mandatory minimum sentences initially. Sharice Sepia Blackman says, good afternoon, y'all. Happy and blessed New Year.
Hey,
Happy
Sharice.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
And then Jacqueline Robinson's, the so-called war on drugs brought the issue of outrageous mandatory minimums to scrutiny, especially for the first-time nonviolent offenders. George Fournier says, in Canada, transport vehicles have to have speed limiting systems. Oh, interesting.
I don't know
Governors.
what that
Cool.
law is here. I don't know what that. Yeah, I
They
don't know how
should
that
have that
applies
here.
here. But it sounds like, I mean, he still would have been going beyond that because 80 plus miles per hour in a big
Yeah.
With the
old rig.
system,
Like,
Yeah.
I can't even.
Yeah.
Well, you have to figure, okay, what if the system failed, right?
Yep.
Because
true.
supposedly his brakes failed. What if the system failed? Like, that wouldn't be that much of an issue if he were going or attempting to go the speed limit to begin with.
Yeah.
So I say, yeah, 10 to 15, 10 to 15.
15.
110, absolutely ridiculous.
All right.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is this
Very
truth,
judge.
lies, or shenanigans?
This is all of it in
Some-
between. Like,
Yeah, there's a little
I'm
bit of truth.
saying
He
the
got some of what he
active-
deserved. Shenanigans from the prosecutor.
the
Yeah.
prosecution
Yeah.
and the
Truth
law
from the
and the
governor.
Colorado state law. And the Colorado state law.
The law.
yeah,
I don't
the
know about
Colorado
truth from
law.
the governor. I don't know about truth from
They're
the governor.
crazy.
You know, there may be a conflict of interest there. So I don't know about that truth from the governor.
Fair
We'll
enough.
I could see that.
Fair enough. All right. It's time for, thank you, Robbie, for that, by the way. But it's time for our game show. All right, today's game is everybody's favorite 7-second challenge. This is very simple. The app will give each player a challenge, and that player will have 7 seconds to complete the challenge. If they complete the challenge successfully, as judged by me, they get a point. If they fail to complete the challenge successfully or choose not to do the challenge, they get no points. Person with the most points wins the coveted final thought for the show. All right, Gianni, who is today's game brought to us by?
So today's game is sponsored by Rude Life Apparel. Rude Life
Vanna
Clothing.
White up in here. Vanna White, let's do it.
Very nice. You can purchase their products at rudelife88.com for comfortable, selective styles. Rudelife88.com.
All right.
Rude
All right.
life, rude life.
So let's start. Robbie, you're up first.
Ooh.
Oh, easy one, Robbie. Name 5 things you love. 7 seconds and go.
My wife, my granddaughter, music, food, liberty, freedom, happiness, humor.
Okay. Good, throwing some good ones.
The
Extra measure.
intangible.
All right, Robbie, you get that point. Good job. I got a nice easy one. All right, Gianni Storm. Dab like Usain Bolt does after he wins a race. Dab. You got 7 seconds for a dab. Oh,
You nailed it. You nailed it.
all right, so you got another easy one.
Oh no,
All
he
right.
goes like this, I think. He goes like that.
Why are you
Usain Bolt.
I know you messing yourself up.
Johnny?
I'm still giving it to you.
Self-sabotage, Johnny. You already won the
Self-sabotage.
point.
Because I was like, wait, I can't be
All
be
right.
a fake.
Lizzie, this one's perfect for you. Invent a new word and define it. 7 seconds.
Fuck Keisha-ness.
Define it.
Keisha-ness.
Define it.
Bye.
Oh,
Keisha-ness is
too late.
well, first of all, you took off some of my time.
All right, define it real quick because I want to know. I want to know. Define it real quick.
Yeah, I want to.
You're giving Robbie extra time though, but go ahead and define it.
Fuck Keisha-ness is when you have someone who is on some fuck shit that is always just doing stuff to get you upset, to get in your ass,
Keisha-ness.
to make you react. Fuck
Why such a long
Fuck
word?
Keisha-ness. What the hell? All right,
Y'all said
Robbie.
that last time with Nehemiah Nostradamus Nutcracker. I'm like, one word.
All right, you ready, Robbie? You've had a little time to think about it. Disney song.
Yeah.
Sing any
Need
Disney
no
song.
time to think about it. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, fiddly-dee. There they are standing in the row.
I love it.
Lion King steered into my goddamn brain.
All right, Giada, you're
That's
up
what
next.
children do to you. That's what children do to you.
Rob got it.
All right, Johnny, cry like a newborn baby. 7 seconds.
I have no
Really?
idea.
What else?
Yeah.
We did really? What? Come on, you do better than that.
Johnny!
I can't. I couldn't.
I don't know if I
like,
can
my
give her
voice
that.
to
I
make
don't
that
know if I can.
sound.
I can't give you that, Gianni. I can't give you
It was faint.
You could have done better.
Right.
We'll call you a wambulance.
Wambulance. I can't give you that, Gianni. All right. Oh, Lizzie, name 5 U.S. state capitals. You ready? 7 seconds. Go.
Let's go with Albany. Let's go with Sacramento. Let's go with Denver.
Oh, took too long. 7 seconds. All right. Robbie, 5 animal sounds.
Y'all think I don't know state capitals?
Ruff, meow, moo, neigh.
What the hell is that?
Who was the last one?
Yeah,
I
he
think the
doesn't get
last
that
one was a
point.
fish.
He doesn't get that point. He
It's a
doesn't
mud
get
puppy
that
when they
point.
come out of the water.
What?
Oh,
I
we just
can't give
I
you
was
that.
doing the little fish. Oh, shut up. Oh.
He got that, Neo.
I give
He'll
him that.
cheat.
I'm just messing with it.
Okay.
I know what he was trying to do. All right, Gianni Storm, mimic a Donald Trump. You ready?
I have to do
7
a short
seconds.
hand.
7 seconds. Sure, did you short hands? You st-
Um,
All right, I'm giving you that. That was good. Short hands. All right,
I thought she was going to give
Right.
us some audio. I thought she was going to give some audio.
all right.
I can't
Lizzie, name 5 Thanksgiving foods.
Collard greens, turkey, ham, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie. Boom.
All right. Yeah.
Cranberry sauce if you want to add that too.
Yes,
That
correct.
was easy.
Those are good. Getting easy ones here. Easy ones all around. All right. Okay, come on. Why is it stuck? Why is it stuck? Come on.
Clickety click.
Lizzie wins. Lizzie wins. Lizzie
No, I don't want to end the
wins.
game. Come on. Come on.
Lizzie
Why is it
wins.
stuck? Of course it's stuck. All right, we're going to do one more round and let's go. One more round.
All right.
All right, one more round. And I forgot who's in the lead because it was keeping the points for me, but we're going to figure it out. All right, what is a sack butt, Robbie? A sack butt.
A sack butt is that thing that ends up when your BBL goes wrong, and you
That's what I was
thing
thinking.
at the back end.
That's what
Your
I was
BBL
thinking.
goes wrong, your Brazilian butt lift. Actually,
That's what
sack
I was
butt
thinking.
is a type of trombone that was commonly used
Robbie,
in the
you didn't know
Renaissance
that?
area.
I like Rob's version better.
So sorry, Robbie, that is incorrect. But all right,
I
Johnny
was thinking
Storm.
that too, though, Robbie. That's where my mind went first.
Name 4 musicals. You have 7 seconds.
Shoot. Fiddler on the Roof, The Nutcracker, Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
And
I don't think
technically,
that was a
Nutcracker isn't a
musical.
musical. Nutcracker
Oh.
isn't a musical.
we're gonna have to skip this one because we already had this one. Hold on, we have to.
Liz doesn't love the same things I love.
Okay, name 5 things you love. Go ahead. I'll give you 7 seconds.
I love me. I love my family. I love my friends. I love Remy, and I love my shoe purse collection.
Shoe purse.
All right. Since we
Well,
don't have the points and I didn't keep points, we're going to say whoever gave the best answer. So we're going to go to online and we're going to ask who gave the best answer. So tell us who won. Rob B, Liz
I
Z,
tried
Gianni
this time.
Storm. I think Gianni Storm, you came up with some good stuff. All right.
tried.
Mud Puffer. Kevin Thacker said Mud
Mud
Puffer.
puppy, mud puppy.
What's a mud
Mud
puffer?
puppy.
All right. So go online. Is it Liz Z, Rob B, or Gianni Storm? We'll let you know at the end of the game.
AKA Donald Trump.
All right. That was a fun game. Let's get in some shout outs. All right, let's start with Liz Z today.
Shout out to my Colorado family this week. You know, they ended the new year on a very tragic note. The horrible wildfires in Boulder County and the surrounding cities. A lot of friends and family there affected. So just want to shout out to them. I love you guys. And please, please, please let me know if you need anything.
All right, Robbie.
Shout out to all of the kids, parents, teachers, administrators, custodians, building managers, bus drivers in Ontario and abroad who are facing uncertainty because of the return to school after the holidays. Just, you know what, just keep sitting tight, keep doing your part, and, you know, we're going to get through this. But a special shout out to Betty White. That was just a tragic loss, just a wonderful, brilliant, bright comedic mind who managed to stay away. Yeah, like, I mean, she stayed out of scandals for decades. So a real special shout out to a
She
bright
was
star that we
hilarious
lost this year. Oh, she's
Our
amazing.
golden girl. Our golden girl.
Hilarious. Yeah, I still watch the Golden Girls sometimes and just be rolling laughing. I can't.
Yes.
That's it's a timeless show for real.
It's still funny.
It
Yeah.
is.
It is.
All right, Gianni Storm, shout outs.
Shout out to Olivia, co-host of Beyond the Stars. I'm really excited for us to launch. I had a really good time working with you on this project. And shout out to the guests, Robbie, Doug, Niecy J, Janelle, and the others that actually had their stories and were able to tell their stories. So thank you. Shout out to them.
Awesome. And I think Robbie, when's Robbie's episode coming out? That's is that the first week or is that part of the?
No, Rob's is actually the first.
Oh, it's going to be, I think, the
it's in-
20. Yeah, okay. It's going to be like a couple of weeks out, right?
Yeah, it's a few weeks out, but it's in January.
In January. Awesome.
Yeah.
Looking
First
forward to that
we'll roll it
episode,
out.
Robbie. All right, and my shout out is to my wife's studio, Posh Liking Fitness. She just launched her new website just in time for your resolutions. She's got spin classes, dance classes, virtual classes, and it's just $29 for the first 2 weeks. Sign up, www.posh.fit. And our final shout out goes to our winner of the Pet Shenanigans of the Week. This week, the shout out goes to Abigail Pellegrino and her gorgeous puppy under the Christmas tree with the caption, "Merry Christmas from Rosie." She is so adorable.
Can I just
What a
read you? So Abby is my
cutie.
girl, one of my dear friends from New York, actually. We worked together for years in New York City. So let me just read you Abby's response from Rosie. Oh my God, I'm so proud. And on Rosie's behalf, we like to thank the Academy, our humans, the big DOT in the sky. We are thrilled and honored to accept this award. So props to Rosie.
Yes.
And Rosie is so cute. Oh my God. I mean, look at that face.
Those eyes.
All right, to see all of the pets or to post your favorite pet's photo or video, join the TLS Pet Shenanigans Facebook group, mypetshenanigans.com. The photo with the most likes and comments gets a TLS shout out each and every week. And that is officially all the time we have for today's show. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. We hope that you maybe learned something, gained a new perspective, and got some things off your chest. We'll be here next week with another amazing guest and more deep discussions. Don't forget, the audio version of the podcast is available every Monday evening after 6 p.m. on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, the conversation is not ending here. We are going to continue to keep the cameras rolling for our after show. That's exclusively on the TLSFans.com Facebook group. You can find us on Facebook or just go to TLSFans.com. Looks like our winner for the final thought was Lizzie. We got to stop going to the audience because Lizzie always wins when we go to the audience.
They know the
They
truth.
robbed me, Neil.
They know the
They
truth.
robbed me. I didn't get a single one wrong in the first
lies
round.
and shenanigans. They're not allowed to lie.
I think you missed one. You missed at least one, Robbie. You missed at least
They know the
one.
truth.
All right.
like,
Lizzie,
no.
take us home. Lizzie, take us home.
I just want to reiterate again, it's 2022, guys. Just, try to come into this year with a good attitude, be healthy, but also reach for the stars this year, folks. Reach for the stars. We are not promised 2023, so if you're going to do it, the time is now. The time is now.
All right.
Yes.
Love that.
Thank you, Liz, Gianni, Robbie, Rock, and all our people behind the scenes always working hard to bring an awesome show. Nesme, Ellen, Jose, and Olivia E. But most importantly, I want to thank you for watching and listening to our shenanigans each and every week. And we will see you next time.